Hi, and welcome to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I am your host, Eric Knowles. But before we get started, a word from one of our supporters.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
And welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I am your host, Eric Knowles. And you already know the deal. We're excited about this show. And this show might be a little different than some of the others. But it's about entrepreneurship. It's about building small business. And today we have a very special guest, gentleman that has been building some amazing restaurants across not just Miami, across the U.S., and just recently opened in Miami. Kevin, how you doing, brother?
I'm great. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely, man. Man, you came in and you just got Miami, booming with what you're doing.
You know what? I feel like we've got Miami booming. So many people in the community have been supportive of Kitchen and Cocktails by Kelley. You've hired a fantastic staff of 110 or 100 and so folks.
That's serious.
We're excited to be here.
Yeah, no, that's serious. 110 folks, new hires. Kitchen and Cocktails. Kevin Kelley. Who is Kevin Kelley, first of all?
You know what? Overall, I'm a servant.
Okay.
That's how I see myself. I've been an attorney for 23 years, but even as an attorney, my job has been to help people who've been injured or have lost loved ones in serious accidents, right? And so doing that for 2 decades has taught me that my job is to be there for other people. Now that I've transitioned a bit to hospitality, it's kind of an extension of the same thing as well. Obviously they like you a lot more when you're selling them chicken instead of when you're suing them, right? But, yeah. I still have to be there for people.
Right.
This year we'll see probably 1 million people in our restaurants.
Right.
And when they dine with us, we have a chance to make their day better. And so it's important that we always welcome people home, that we make them feel special, and that we do our best to be a positive part of their day. And so that's just another extenuation of myself being a servant, now having a team of 1,100 nationally to do the same thing with me to try to serve people and make things better for them.
Okay. And I'm going to back up a little bit. Attorney for 20 years. And what was the impetus that say, okay, I'm going to get into this restaurant, which is one of the hardest businesses to get into and to stay open. And you've been doing this for a while, and not just doing it, but doing it at a high level and spreading it across the U.S. I mean, you started out in Dallas, and now you're here. This is like your What's the number?
This is my 9th concept, and this is my 7th Kitchen and Cocktails by Kelley location.
Okay. So again, what was that impetus that said, okay, I'm gonna become a restaurateur?
Real estate, well, to be a restaurateur, I always thought it'd be cool to have my own restaurant. Okay. I got a lot of friends. We go dine places, we enjoy ourselves, and we've always thought that, if one of us had our own restaurant, it'd be a great place to be, to have food, drinks, vibes, and entertain ourselves. And, real estate helped quite a bit. I own a building that is downtown Dallas, and it's a nice size building, about 53,000 square feet, but
that's nice size.
5,500 square feet of the space is a restaurant space or retail space, and nobody would lease that space from me. And I tried for 2 years to get someone to lease the space. And so I finally said, I'm going to turn the space into a restaurant.
Okay.
I said, if we can hit number 1, let's say, then we'll be happy with the restaurant and we'll take it across the country. And now that restaurant does a 4X over what our highest expectation was back then. And so the real estate was the biggest part, but also beyond the real estate, I love food. I love drinks. I lived in Europe for a 5-year stretch while my kids were growing up. My oldest son was 9 when we moved to Europe, and he was 14 when we came back.
Okay.
They play soccer at a high level. And so each month I would spend 5 days in America working, and then I'd travel to Europe and spend 10 days in Europe with my family. 5 days working and then 10 days in Europe with my family. And during that time, it was cool living in Spain and living in Paris, but the food's just not like American food.
Yeah,
and
Paris, so, the love and, the excitement about Paris, but it's not the same.
Man, Paris is my favorite city in Europe. I love Paris. I love the people. I love the diversity.
Right.
It was great to us for the year that we lived there. However, they don't have a lot of fried chicken in Paris. They don't have mac and cheese, yams, collard greens.
They got a lot of stuff, but the flavor just is, to your point, the flavor just isn't there.
Yeah, I never had to worry about being overweight living in Europe.
Right.
Some of the desserts were great, but I said that if I do come back to America full time, that I'm going to open a restaurant, and I'm going to open one that I like, that would make my mother and my grandmother happy, and that I think other people would enjoy too. And that was the initial motivation for Kitchen and Cocktails by Kevin Kelley.
Right. And unfortunately I wasn't here for the opening, but I just heard nothing but grand reviews. The name, where did the name come from?
Initially the name was True Kitchen and Cocktails. I love the name. We logoed it out, we marketed it well, but at some point we were told that True Food Kitchen had a problem with us having that name because they had copyrighted the term true. Okay. With the U.S. Patent Association or whatever the organization is called.
Right.
And so we went back and forth a couple times, and I realized that they had me, so I had to switch it up. And so changing it to Kitchen and Cocktails by Kevin Kelley gave us a unique name because my name is on the back of it.
Right.
We've since copyrighted it.
And the KKK thing.
Yeah,
well,
so everything's
way.
Yeah, and the K's, who people always ask me that. Well, my name is Kevin Kelley, and so it's easy to put 2 K's on there. I'm a Kappa. It's K's all around my life. My son's a Kappa too, and so that's where all the K's come with Kitchen and Cocktails by Kevin Kelley.
Beautiful thing. Name the cities that you're in.
We're in Dallas, Chicago, DC, Charlotte, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and now Miami with Kitchen and Cocktails by Kevin Kelley.
And obviously all those cities are true meccas for our community. Food that, we, like you said, we grew up with: collard greens, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, fried chicken, and again, Miami. And I mean, you came in, you didn't just come and open a restaurant. You came in and you engaged. I mean, one of the first things, obviously, our good friend Robert Holland introduced you to many of us here in the community. Our good friend Dexter Bridgman, obviously Jessica Motkins, who's working with you, both of them.
Right.
And obviously Robert. But what was it about Miami, and how long had you been looking at Miami?
I've been looking at Miami for 5 years. When I opened my restaurant in Dallas, about 10 people from my team and I took a trip to Miami.
Okay.
Just so we can dine in Miami and go to different concepts and enjoy things and understand a higher standard. I'm firm in my belief that Miami has the best food culture in the country. I think Miami has it all: Italian restaurants, steak restaurants, Caribbean restaurants. I think Miami is fantastic for that. And so when I came, I said, man, I'd love to be in Miami one day. And so since then, we've kept our eye on Miami and hope that some good real estate will become available. Until the space became available at 2823 Northwest 2nd Avenue in Wnywood, we hadn't found a space.
Times.
But I'll tell you what, that space is a dream location. If you'd asked me 6 months ago would we be in Miami, I wouldn't have known. But we got this deal done. We did it fast, and that's a perfect location. As soon as you enter Wnywood, you see the restaurant.
It's right there.
We've got garage doors that open up on the side, and on the weekend you look through, and it's packed in that restaurant, and people are happy. And so that real estate, was fantastic. And we want a national footprint too.
Right.
And if you want a national footprint, I mean, we're in Dallas, Chicago, DC, Charlotte, Philly. We've got more places we're going to go to that are big national cities, but you've got to cover Miami. And Miami is a little bit unique because in Miami, it's not like Philly. In Philly, there's such a large population of African Americans, which is our primary customer base. In Miami, it's a lot more diverse. So we have to be more mindful of our marketing, of relationships. And, even when you speak of relationships, you talk of Robert Holland. Robert's like a big brother to me.
Okay.
I've got a lot of love and respect for him because he's taken me under his wing. He's made sure I've known so many people in Miami. We're in a couple of organizations together that have supported also. And so, his support has just been phenomenal.
Yeah. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back and we'll continue this conversation. See you on the other side.
Learn and earn today at Miami-Dade College. College graduates earn 56% more than high school graduates and $1 million more in lifetime earnings. A degree from MDC is your path to greater earning power and career success. Choose from hundreds of affordable high-tech and in-demand career programs, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, business, and nursing. Learn and earn today at MDC and fast-track your career. Enroll now at mdc.edu/purpose.
And welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I'm here with Kelley, and we're talking kitchen and cocktails. This brand new, amazing restaurant that just opened here in Miami. It's in 7 other cities: Atlanta, Philly, Dallas, and New York, and a bunch of others. And this is the man who came up with the concept, the idea, and I'm just, again, looking forward to the chamber. We're going to host our last Thursday meetup on Thursday. I believe that's like the 26th.
It is. It is
26th of February. We're in February. I'm just getting back in town. It's 26th of February, and we're excited about that. But we're talking about Miami, the fact that we're not Atlanta, we're not DC, we're not New York. Everybody wants to be in Miami.
right.
And everybody everybody comes to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming to South Beach, they're coming to Wynwood, they're going to Brickell. And you're hitting the pulse of what's happening. The world is flocking to Miami.
Right.
So tell us about your thoughts about that.
You know what? I think Miami has the best food culture in the country.
Mhm.
I truly do. The restaurants that are here are unique. And again, my first voyage outside of Dallas to dine in other restaurants to learn more about hospitality, because I've only been in hospitality for 5 years with my own concepts. And so we've learned fast.
That's amazing. 5 years in 7 restaurants.
Yeah, and 2 other concepts. We've got a sports bar, and we've got a Latino nightclub in Dallas that is 19,000 square feet.
Okay.
Called Club Vivo.
Okay.
And so, I think Miami has it all, but Miami is a challenge too. And Miami is a challenge, not because there are fantastic concepts here, but with my concept, our customer base is probably, let's say, 70% African-American.
Okay.
It's not like Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, it's 40+% African-Americans in that city. And so it's easy to find your customer base. In Miami, you have to be expansive. You have to go beyond just Wynwood, Miami Gardens, Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, Dade County. You've got to really, really be expansive with your marketing and advertising. And so this is pushing our team to be the best that we can be, but it's a fantastic experience. The support has been phenomenal so far. We're really busy in our restaurants across the country, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's our busy time.
And to your point, but again, as we were speaking before we came back on, everybody's coming here.
Uh-huh.
So when they know that Kitchen and Cocktails is here, and they've been in the other cities and they've been exposed to the expertise, the level of service that you provide, like you said, you have to do it a little different in terms of marketing and letting folks know what's going on.
And that's been great too, because we have a substantial amount of data from people who are in the 305, so to say, because they've dined in so many of our restaurants across the country. And that's what lets us know which cities to go to as well. If we run into customers and they're like, hey, are you coming to Miami? Are you coming to this city? Are you coming to that city?
Right.
When these messages come to me, then it's for me to do research, understand the demographics and data associated with different locations and say, maybe this works for us, maybe it doesn't. And we've had an outpouring of support and customers from Miami. And so it made sense for us to be here.
Right. As I mentioned, I just got back in town, and service is the key to in particular when it comes to restaurants.
Right.
If the service is off, I may not go back again. And the service that was rendered in the spaces that I went to in Bali just was phenomenal.
Right.
The way the people, they greeted you, and I know you have a high standard of excellence with your staff. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. The first thing you hear when you walk into our restaurant is welcome home. And the reason we say welcome home is because we want you to understand that when you walk into this restaurant, we don't want you to just feel it. We want you to understand it and know that this is your restaurant. You're at home here. We want you to enjoy yourself. And our staff has been trained that way too. One of the things that was told to me before I came to Miami is that we're going to have a difficult time finding good service staff in Miami because the hospitality and service is not good. And I've experienced that myself. I've gone to a number of restaurants in Miami with myself, my team, family, and friends. And when you usually encounter that hostess will make you feel that they're special, that they're Beyonce or Celine Dion. When you get your server's going to act like they're a superstar, and they may be friendly with you. They may not be with you, except that that's Miami. That doesn't work for me.
Absolutely.
I don't like that. And so I think that we've got a great space in this culinary market because we understand that the customer is a star. I'm not the star. My staff is not the star. My chefs are not the star. It is the customer. And so we're working our behinds off to get customers to understand that, but also to train our staff too, because when you come to a city and you hire 110 or so folks who haven't had the opportunity to deal with the number of customers to deliver hospitality at a high level, there's a training process that goes along with that too, and it takes time. It'll take us 3 to 6 months to get the staff where we want them to be, to get the kitchen where we want them to be. Now come now, because you got to be a part of that process too.
I'm going to be there.
Everybody else come now too. But with that said, the staff that we have here at our Miami location has been so impressive. Right. So many good people with good attitudes and great hospitality, and they've just needed a chance. And even beyond who we are and our customer base and what we desire to do with hospitality, when you go to Mila, when you go to Poppy Steak, when you go to Maple and Ash and the top restaurants that are here in Miami, and we all go there, you don't see management that looks like me.
Right.
Their ownership is not Black.
Right.
And so what ends up happening as part of that process, in my opinion, is when you look at that staff, they're not us either.
No.
And so how do people that look like us have a chance? How do we have an opportunity? It takes concepts like mine that are going to come to town and hire 110 people and say, I'm okay if 100 people on my staff are Black and brown, because they deserve opportunity too.
Absolutely.
And that's what's happening here with our restaurant. And so beyond the food being good, the drinks being good, the vibe being good, the social good that we're doing too is important, because now when these people leave working for me, hopefully they'll stay with me forever, but it doesn't work like that.
Right.
When they leave working for
me, get better.
They're prepared to at least go to these other places and they can have something on their resume. So maybe these big restaurant chains have to say this person can be a GM, they can be a manager. They don't just have to work in our kitchen and be in the back. Right. They don't just have to sweep our floors. I've seen fantastic people in some of these top restaurants who are just busters. And I'm like, man, I wonder why this woman isn't a manager. She's that good. Right. But you don't see them getting that chance. I'm here to give that opportunity.
Yeah. I remember many years ago being in Georgetown and being in a restaurant, and I was just blown away by this waiter, because it was about the attentiveness, but not being overbearing, right? Just being there at the right moment, at the right time, and just the attitude, and it, like I said, it makes or breaks an establishment.
Yeah, and in hospitality and in life as a whole, nothing's going to be perfect. There are always going to be mistakes that are made, whether it's at the front door with a drink or something else. But over time, this team's going to get better and better. They're understanding what hospitality is, and they're excited to come to work every day and to deliver it. And so, we're happy with the response and the results that we've had so far since we opened on the 16th.
One thing I hadn't seen, and again, I was in Bali, and when you go in and they ask you, this was for Wi-Fi, and it wasn't a matter of you connecting to their Wi-Fi and putting a code in. It was your information. Right. Your email. And that was the connection.
That's important, as even beyond me working in hospitality, but a lot of businesses that have a proper or a good valuation, their valuation is related to data. And so if you are in hospitality, it's important that you get those emails, those cell phone numbers, and those points of contact, because that's a means of maintaining that current customer. Right. It's a lot cheaper to keep that current customer than to expend funds to try to find new customers. And so that is important.
But my point, I guess I'm asking you, do you have that system in place? Because again, I had never seen it. Because again, when you go to the Wi-Fi, the restaurant pops up, and then you have to ask for the code, or they give you the code to get on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we don't have that for Wi-Fi. We've got it just with our reservation system.
Yeah, that's
But we need to get that with
that's
our
why
Wi-Fi.
That's why I'm dropping it. That's why I'm dropping it.
Like I told you, it ain't perfect. I've been telling my team, hey, we got to get a separate email account or a separate Wi-Fi account so we can get all that data.
That's why I'm dropping it.
Right.
I was blown away. I was like, damn.
I've seen it in places, and they do a good job. And it's funny, the places that do it, if you don't log into their Wi-Fi, bless you. Good luck getting on the World Wide Web with the internet. It just doesn't work without it.
Exactly. And it to me, that was phenomenal. It was business, taking business to another level.
That's right.
So what's in the future?
More growth, more expansion.
Okay.
The future looks like being better to those who give us a chance now. At base level, we have to be fantastic to those who dine with us and those who are coming in the doors this current moment. Beyond that, we want more locations across the country. We want to scale this concept. I'm a businessman at heart. Business is my sport. I ain't a basketball player, not a football player, but business is my sport. I want to create opportunity. I want to hire more people. I want to create a legendary hospitality company. And in 5 years, we're off to a good start. But now it's time to take these brakes off. We're about to be all gas, no brakes with our growth across the country.
Wow. You're off to a fantastic start. 5 years, 7 restaurants, and the other facilities that that you're talking that you have up and established there in Dallas. International?
Some point in the future, I'd love to have a restaurant in Paris, but it'd have to make sense. So even when people talk to me about going to the West Coast, it's got to make sense before I go to the West. I can't go to the West for one restaurant because the travel is too much.
Right.
I have to make a decision to open 5 restaurants on the West Coast within a 12-month period, and then it would make sense for me.
Okay.
But we'll eventually get there. At some point, we want to cover the whole country. This food that we serve at Kitchen and Cocktails,
tell us about the food.
Yeah,
talk about chicken, the menu.
The fried catfish, the shrimp and grits, the chicken, fried lobster tails, mac and cheese.
Chicken fried chicken?
Chicken fried chicken, man. The peach cobbler, banana pudding, yams, black-eyed peas, cornbread. All this stuff is the best food from the South. Before I opened the first restaurant, my chef spent 6 months making food, and every single day they would bring it to me so that I could say yes or no to the flavor profile. What's happened is that my team and I have developed food that has been beloved by our customers. I don't think there's a Southern comfort concept in the country that can make food the way that my chefs can make it. Unquestionably, my chefs are the chefs. They work so hard. They do such a good job, and I'm proud of them, and I'm thankful to have them. And so now we're able to take that time and research to deliver the customers a good food product. But beyond that, we also were mindful of drinks too. And so our cocktails are fantastic. We have some frozen ones. We have craft-made cocktails too. So it's not just the food that's the focus. The drinks are the star too. But beyond that, the vibe is good as well, because when you come into the restaurant, you're going to hear music.
Right.
It's not a club. We don't have hookah in there. We don't have dancing in there. You can scoot in your seat a little bit, but that's
I think I heard a couple stories.
Yeah. I have too. But with that said, we want you to be happy when you come to my restaurant. So
right.
We want you to have a dang good time, and if you give us an opportunity, you're going to have it. And so even the restaurant's designed well. We've got beautiful floral display. We've got other walls. We've got mirrors where women take photographs also. And our customer base is 70% women.
Okay.
And so we designed that restaurant in a way to make them feel happy and feel
the girls like to go out to dinner together.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about customer base, 70% women. I'm going to give these women what they want.
Right.
And the other 30% being men, half of them are there for a woman anyway. So let's give women 85%. They have nothing but applause from me, and my restaurant is their restaurant, and we can't wait to welcome them home.
Right. Let's go back to your team in this last minute. For those who are watching, what makes a good team member?
You know what? Hard work.
Okay.
Hard work is it. Hard work is undeniable. If you work hard, you're going to be respected. From there, you want to have a good culture. You want to care about your team. It's good to have ambitious people, but you don't want to have ambitious people to the point that they backstab other people. And you have to have intelligence as well. IQ is very important. We're really putting an emphasis on people who are smart, because decisions have to be made in real time, and I can't make them all. I have to have people who can not only make those decisions in real time, but people who can tell me what to do as well. And also, a good team requires people who can be a chief, like myself, but also people who can be a chief but understand the importance and respect of being an Indian at times too. And so those are things that are important. But when you talk about a team too, I still have to bring it back to my Miami team. And that's attorney Robert Holland, who is the best attorney anybody could get out here. Robert has guided us through all these processes in Miami, and we've been fantastic. When you're talking teams, you're talking Vince Brown, attorney who works with the city of Miami and other people. Vince has been fantastic to me in the city. You talk Dexter Bridgman and his support. Dexter's been fantastic too. And so if they don't know they own the team, they're on the team. That's a true team. You talk Jessica and Roy Motkins, the fantastic work they've done for us, and so many other people that have said this is our restaurant too. Political support, Keon Hardiman.
Right.
His support that he's given us has been fantastic from a commissioner perspective. And so our team is beyond just me, just beyond in-house. It's all of it. And I'm thankful for everybody.
And obviously the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce.
1,000%. Nobody loves this Chamber of Commerce and the Black Chambers of Commerce more than my mom, Dr. Deborah Kelley Hill, who runs my community and governmental affairs. So thank you all so much.
Let the folks know how they can find you.
Find us at Kitchen and Cocktails by Kevin Kelley. You can Google us, or you can go to Instagram and find us at Kitchen Cocktails with a K USA, or you can find us on Open Table, Kitchen and Cocktails by Kevin Kelley, and book that reservation right now. Don't even wait 5 minutes. Book it now. We're waiting for you.
Well, this has been the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. You heard it right here. Hope to see you on Thursday, the 26th, as we have our last Thursday meetup, and we're going to have a great time. Kevin said he's going to try to make it back in town. You get to meet him, the man, not the myth, the legend, who has built this amazing establishments across the country. See you on the other side. Today, I stand before you, a proud graduate of Miami-Dade College and the 5th president of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. I'm honored to return to the college that prepared me to become a leader in our community, providing an education second to none. So I'm asking you to please tune in every Monday at 12 noon to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce's Member Connection, as I interview members of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce on our Facebook page at Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce or our YouTube channel, Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. To learn more about the Chamber, please go to m-dcc.org or call the Chamber at 305-751-8648.